This is the first time I'm giving this particular talk, so you get to enjoy the very first instance of this, and I hope you do enjoy it. So I'm going to talk for a few minutes about the Riff platform and some of the phenomena that we notice when we put this in front of just ordinary teams doing ordinary work every single day and trying to be productive. And I bet that nobody in this room can relate to that. Okay. So I contend that teams are like bands. And they're like bands in a very specific way. You may recognize the band on the left, happen to be one of my favorite bands, The Who. You may recognize this extremely famous photograph of some jazz greats, Charlie Mingus, Charlie Parker, Thelonious Monk. And these are bands that have really shown how they work together, right? How they band together to create some amazing, inventive, raw rock and roll, special jazz that you'll never hear anywhere else. And one of the things that they do is that they notice each other. They send nonverbal signals. They sometimes send verbal signals, and then they riff off each other. There's a reason the name of our company is Riff. We notice that when people really understand one another, when they work collaboratively in a really nice mode of communication and respect, right? And sort of signals that let me know that my colleague is listening, that creates this really lovely effect. And so teams and bands both take advantage of this phenomenon. So the problem is, what happens if you put a band in a video conference? This is obviously ridiculous. They're going to stink. And this is sort of how it feels for you when you're a team and you get in a video conference. Basically, even if you were awesome, and especially if you weren't really awesome yet as a team working together, you get into a video conference and you're just not awesome. You really stink. And it's not you. It's really the video conference, and in a lot of ways, it's also not even just the video. It's the meeting, right? It's the whole phenomenon. It's all the parts and pieces that make this experience not great and unproductive and feel bad, right? And everybody in this room, I am certain, can identify with this situation because it happens all the time. And our work is moving there increasingly. You can probably, how many people in this room will have at least one video meeting this week? Right. So you know that you're going to encounter something that doesn't feel great and that you'd like to be able to do something about it. Okay, so given that we're going to be doing those, you just all raised your hands, so you're going to be having one. We'd like to transform that experience into something where you can actually learn something about yourself. So we have created passive measurement tools that sit on top of video and chat, and then collect really interesting information about those conversations and about those encounters. As Sandy suggested, we look at certain kinds of verbal and nonverbal patterns that tell us things. If you're nodding, that's a really strong signal to the person sitting across from you. I'm at least paying attention to you. I might actually agree with you. I might like what you're saying if you smile. And then you say, oh, all of those things are really important signals to the other person that something good is happening there. So we capture a lot of that stuff, we measure it, we give it back to people, we give them this feedback, and let them learn something about themselves and something about their interactions with teams that they work inside of in order to make the video conference something that doesn't just stink, right? Something that really teaches you about yourself. So we also use these same sorts of tools to predict things about people. And what we're moving toward is an emotionally intelligent AI, something that mimics all of the ways in which you'd like to learn what it is you can know about yourself, whether those are leadership qualities or things you still need to work on that are part of your pattern of communication with the other people that you work with, or things that you're striving toward, right? Giving all those capabilities back to you and letting you learn something about yourself as you work toward your goals on yourself and with your team. And so at the end, we're really banding together, pun intended, to work with not only our own team, but with our few first customers to learn what it is that they want to learn. What do you want to know about your scenarios? What do you want to know about your workplaces, online learning, hiring, all the things that are important to you? We're going to tell you about that, and we're going to make people better. Thanks very much.